Hello, everyone. So, I didn't get to catch this live stream live when it happened. I was up all night playing Final Fantasy 14, which is super fun, by the way. Just started playing it, so if you play that, let me know down below. But I didn't get to watch this live because it was really early in the morning for me. It was 6:30, and I had an alarm set. I only got like 3 hours of sleep. I should have just stayed up, but I was like, yeah, that's not happening. I rolled back in bed. But a little bit after, I haven't seen anything about this stuff here, so this is like my genuine live reaction to this stuff. I'll probably be skipping around a little bit because I have that choice there, but I'll be pausing and I'll be analyzing some of the stuff. I know we probably got some character stuff. I'll be doing character breakdowns in a separate video, so if you're here for character breakdowns, I'm not going to be doing that here. But I'll be listening through and seeing exactly what we see here and what's new and cool. All right, let's just start with this. You guys probably already saw this, but this will be my reactions.
I always knew you were a dark horse, Mr.
Well,
Yang.
speak for yourself. Albert, if I had met you a few years ago, my creative career would have taken a more interesting turn.
You know, I heard you had something new in the works. What's it about? Let me guess. The Adventures of the Nameless.
Well, it's early concept at the moment.
Just want to say, I've never watched one of these before, so I didn't realize if you have it like this and having some like voice actors do some stuff. That's pretty neat. I was not sure what to expect. I was expecting like PNG tuber type stuff, but I don't have a problem with it. I just was expecting it.
The Express crew has given me a lot of food for thought, but still, when it comes to key plot points, I'm in need of some inspiration.
Ooh, inspiration. How about,
How about this?
We give you some ideas. After all, when it comes to scripts, we're seasoned professionals.
Security! Security! Security!
All right, so that's pretty interesting. As far as story stuff goes, things are definitely be popping off here. Question I have is, are we actually going to be? I doubt we're finishing up this section, like this quote unquote arc of the story, in 1.2 here. Even though some of that stuff looked pretty final as far as like a final boss type thing for the CN show like whole area here. I doubt it's ending because we've seen the stuff for 1.3 as far as like Fushuan and the Imbibitor Lune stuff. Those characters aren't actually coming out until assumedly 1.3. So it would be a little weird for us to go to the next area and have some characters from behind in that section. I assume they'd want to start off when we go to a new area with new characters in 1.3. But that's interesting. I would assume it's not ending, but makes me wonder what they're going to end with, because that was a lot. That was a lot of things going on there. It could be like a part one, finish it up later, right? Like that big lady that showed up near the end. That could be like the final boss of this area, but maybe we don't necessarily finish the fight. But that was cool. That was interesting. That was fun. These two new characters, Blade and Kafka. Well, not new in the story, but new for us to pull. Yeah, pretty cool. Make sure you use the code too as well. I'll have them in the description, but they're in the description of the main video here that they have as well. But cool. Yeah, definitely cool. Gotta have that there for a while, I guess. Let's skip ahead a little bit.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm your buddy Albert, and welcome to the version 1.2 Even Immortality Ends special program. Today, we have 3 special guests in the hot seats. Introducing...
Hey guys, I'm Cheryl Texera, and I voice Kafka.
Hey there, I'm Damon Mills, and I voice Blade.
Hi, folks. My name is Corey Landis, and I voice Welt.
Guys, it's great to have you with us. Man, that trailer was a roller coaster. Corey, your thoughts?
Whoa, me already? Okay. It looked like various factions were getting ready for battle. I think we're one move away from a serious showdown here.
Agreed. It was cool to see some new environments and enemies, too. I better get my team in order.
You're gonna need to, my friend. In version 1.2, the Xianzhou Lao Fu will face a setback that threatens the fate of the whole alliance. The Trailblazer will need to pass through various delves and arrive at the location of the sealed ambrosial arbor, where a decisive battle with the one responsible for the Stellaron disaster awaits.
Not to mention, Don Hung finally gets reunited with the Astral Express crew.
Don Hung's journey has been longer than most could imagine.
Care to elaborate, Damon?
I didn't say anything.
Ah, come on, guys. You're trying to get me fired here. Editors, cut that bit out. What was I gonna say? Oh, right. The story.
Yeah, so this is pretty cute, I guess, is what I'd say. It's definitely silly. They're having some fun with it, but yeah, interesting. They're making it sound not like it's going to be the end. At least I never said even immortality ends, and they're talking about how we're one move away from a big climactic showdown. I can't see this being the end of this like I said, quote unquote arc, but it's interesting. There's a lot more information we learn, obviously, about Don Hung and this blade stuff that they have. Obviously, we have that light cone that seems to show them battling in one way or another. So I'm curious if we'll get a lot more information on that in this one, or maybe they'll save that for the next one when that actual new Don Hung unit comes out. We'll see.
Story left off on a bit of a cliffhanger last time.
It sure did. I mean, why did Jing Yuan deploy those forces? Who is he trying to catch?
And what about the Stellaron hunters? Where did they go after escaping?
Well, who says they went anywhere?
Cut that out too. I'm sure all these questions will be answered in the upcoming story. Now, aside from Trailblaze mission updates, version 1.2 will see new characters coming to the war. First on the scene, Blade.
One thing quick before we get to Blade here. Actually, never mind. I'll save it for the end.
I have a question for Damon. If, say, there were 5 people, would...
Do they reveal kit stuff in this things? I haven't watched them before, so I'm wondering, but hopefully they do, because I'm really interested to see how special he is or isn't going to be. Like I said, this isn't a breakdown video. Assumingly they have information, so I can do a breakdown video, but I guess I actually don't know.
I be one of them?
I don't know.
Yeah, me neither.
Don't look at me. I don't know anything about anything. Okay?
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm not one of the 5 people, but here is a fact for you. Whenever Blade gets scary, it's the Mara flaring up.
Isn't he always scary?
He usually does what I tell him.
I should probably unpack that a little. Blade relies on Kafka's spirit whisper to suppress the Mara inside him.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. You know, most of the time, Bladey's a nice, quiet boy.
Totally. He's not a strong communicator, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure half my recording sessions have focused on 2 sounds. Number 1, Number 2,
I can believe that. Huh. It's strange that a lone wolf like him would want to team up with the Stellaron hunters. Unless Kafka's spirit whispered him into it?
Kafka was more of a go-between. The real reason Blade joined was because Elio promised him the outcome he desired.
Outcome? Meaning, vengeance? Look, a certain someone on the Express has been having nightmares about this guy.
Not just vengeance, a funeral.
A funeral?
his own to be precise. Through unexpected circumstances, Blade became immortal. His body recovers from the worst of sicknesses and the gravest of injuries, even from death itself. Those bandages aren't for show. For Blade, immortality isn't a blessing. It's a curse that follows him wherever he goes.
Yikes. And I thought I had a problem, huh? Well, let's leave something to the imagination here. I'm sure our Trailblazers will find out more about Blade's backstory as things unfold.
That's pretty interesting, this idea that he is actually immortal. He's the immortality ends, who knows, maybe. But I am actually more interested in this storyline here that they have between him and Don Hung. I wasn't Don Hung. I wasn't a big fan of Don Hung, as a lot more people were, but I can't say that I'm not actually quite invested in this part of the storyline. Wasn't I'm more invested in this part of the storyline than I was pretty much anything prior. That's for sure. Also, just want to say, Blade is definitely a cool character design. I'm just, it's like a cheat code when you have like the cool guy who doesn't talk very much and is a swordsman. It's like I said, it's the cheat code for making cool characters. I mean, bro, people love Sasuke, people love Law, people love Zoro. It's you give someone a sword, you make them cool and mysterious, and that's like a fan favorite character. You could tell, but hey, what do you know? He's cool. I like him. It works. It works for a reason.
For now, let's take a look at what he's capable of on the battlefield. Blade is a wind-type character, following the path of destruction. By consuming his own HP, he's able to deal greater damage to enemies. And I guess that's the risk you take when you're a mortal. Huh?
Blade's skill consumes a set amount of his own HP and initiates Hellscape. While Hellscape is active, Blade deals greater damage, and his basic attack is enhanced from Shard Sword to Forest of Swords. While Shard Sword is a single target attack, Forest of Swords deals damage to multiple enemies.
I got a question. Can Blade still use his skill if his HP isn't enough to cover the set amount?
In that situation, when Blade uses his skill, his HP decreases to 1.
Ooh, that sounds a little dicey.
A bit. Well, there's a silver lining. When Blade's HP decreases, his talent is triggered, granting him a charge. When charges are fully stacked, Blade unleashes a follow-up attack on all enemies and recovers a set amount of HP. When Blade unleashes his ultimate, his HP is set to 50% of his max HP, and he deals massive damage to a single target and adjacent enemies.
HP for damage, huh? Interesting. No wonder he's so indifferent to being healed.
And the more HP Blade loses, the more damage his ultimate deals.
Yeah, it does. Blade's technique, Karma Wind, also consumes his HP and deals wind damage to all enemies after entering battle.
Ooh, when it comes to taking damage, Blade should be more afraid of himself than his enemies.
This hurts me more than it hurts you.
Okay, just want to talk about Blade quick, and his kit stuff that we learned here. Very interesting. Arlen is a similar lose health, has ways to lose his own health and deal damage. The thing that's hard with these characters is balancing how much health you lose to how much damage you can do, because they will be, on the cusp of death for a lot. One way to do it is for them to just naturally lose all their HP, through their own abilities and just have someone else taunting and tanking the best they can. Another way is to find a way to incrementally heal them so that they could still be losing health while taking damage and whatever. One thing to mention is that shields shouldn't have any impact on his health, on how low his health is of being able to deal damage. So having shields that can mitigate some damage that he'll be taking is not the worst idea when you have him at these low healths. And it would still charge his passive, assumedly that he doesn't have to actually take damage. If his shield is hurt, he should still be able to charge up that passive. They made it seem like it was just as long as he's attacked. So that could be good. It's hard to balance characters like that, right? You have to get kind of lucky. The question is, you're going to need some testing. But if you have someone like Locha there with his healing and his field, when you attack at your low health, you'll get the bonus, but then you'll heal a little bit. You'll be able to take that health away again and then be able to heal again. So you could take the health away to deal the damage and then gain health right after dealing the damage. I'm wondering if that's going to be the strategy to go with him. We'll have to see how the numbers go exactly to see if he's still dealing enough damage while being able to heal after every single time he attacks. But I would think that would be the best way to use him. But, he's going to require a lot of testing and a lot of interesting combinations. Characters like these, they're tough to use, that's for sure. Arlen has been lower on tier lists, and a lot of people want to use him. His damage can be pretty decent. It's a really risk reward. It's just the risk is hard to maintain and it's hard to use. And that would be the same thing with him, because if he just dies, then he's just dead. And that's that. So he's interesting, that's for sure. It's something where I'm going to have to see him in game and maybe see his numbers, see how much his numbers improve based on the low health. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. He's tough. He's an odd character. I was beginning to think that if he had 5 stacks and died, that he would revive, and that's where they would be going with it, which is what I'd prefer. But we'll see what they do with him. That's interesting.
Ultimate line, anyone?
We can't let Blaze steal the show. It's time to talk about another Stellaron hunter. His partner in crime, Kafka. Kafka's a familiar face at this point in the story. She was the first person the Trailblazer set eyes on, and meaning Kafka must have been there for the Trailblazer's first words, the first step. No wonder so many players are calling her.
Okay.
Oh my gosh! I wish I had a face cam so you could see my jaw drop right there. I was like, oh, I assume they know what everyone's saying about her, but that's funny. That's funny. I need to invest in a webcam for all my videos. That was all right then.
Okay, I don't think that's going to get past the editors there, Albert. Look, what I am interested in is this. Since Kafka appeared on Herta Space Station, she's managed to implant the Trailblazer with the Stellaron, hijack the Express's signals, and draw the crew onto the Cienjo La Fu. It almost feels like she has the Trailblazer's destiny in the palm of her hand.
So just
I've got another question.
turning the quality down. Just it's not gonna look that nice in the video no matter what. Anyways, so probably should have done that earlier. Hopefully nothing in the footage is too goofy.
Why did Kafka join the Stellaron Hunters?
Ooh. So Kafka was born on Terriez 5, a planet that knows no fear. And literally, Kafka is unable to feel the emotion fear, and therefore cannot comprehend the value of life. When Elio promised to bring about a change for her, she signed up without a second thought.
Now, for someone who can't feel fear, she's pretty great at making others feel it.
This scares you more than it scares me.
You want me to use my spirit whisper on him, Albert?
Yes. No. I mean, let's move on to Kafka's combat, shall we?
Oh, yes. I thought you'd never ask. So Kafka is a lightning type character following the path of nihility, and she can deal additional damage over time to enemies. Her skill deals lightning damage to multiple targets. If an enemy is afflicted with DOT, they receive an additional bout of DOT damage.
That is to say, if an enemy is already afflicted with DOT, they receive additional damage both during their turn and after Kafka's attack.
That's right. Not to mention, additional damage doesn't replace existing DOT. I mean, did you think Kafka was gonna take it easy on him? Come on. And separately, after an ally uses a basic attack, Kafka will launch a follow-up attack. Kafka's ultimate, on the other hand, deals lightning damage to all enemies with a chance of shocking targets and immediately dealing additional damage to those already shocked. Kafka's technique can attack all enemies within a set range and deals lightning damage to all enemies after entering battle.
How elegant.
Well, she
Okay, that's interesting. Actually, she is more interesting than I thought she was gonna end up being. So she is really just like added on damage for like your entire team, is what it seems. It just seems like. Funny, it's not exactly damage over time, but it's a very similar concept on all of her things, including the follow-up attack on enemies' basics, which is definitely interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure. She's not gonna carry you through anything, right? She's not a primary damage dealer. We already knew that. We knew she wasn't gonna. We already knew she was nihility, right? We already knew she was going to be like a debuffer sometimes. She doesn't really debuff too much. She's just adding extra damage in all of these places, which is actually quite cool. That's quite a unique way to go about it. That follow-up attack. She doesn't have a lot to her kit, right? She just has like additional damage over time when alongside other damage over time, right? Extra damage when enemies already attack. Ultimate is just a big AoE that has a chance to shock, right? And then she just has a way to attack enemies as a technique, right? Her kit is very simple, but it's simple isn't bad, right? In fact, it makes it really easy to use and really easy to throw on every single team as long as an enemy is weak to lightning. Um, yeah, she's probably gonna end up being more useful than Blade. Most definitely, I'd say most definitely she'll be more useful just because Blade, you have to build around him. You have to build your team around him. You have to micromanage him the whole fight to make sure he doesn't die and can maximize his damage. Her, she just adds on a little extra to everything that's pretty much happening damage wise. She'll definitely be good. She'll definitely be good. She'll probably be on the lower end, I'd assume, mid to lower end of most other premium 5 stars, but she'll definitely be really useful to you. It's like a I don't know if you want to summon for her directly unless you're just like, you want to summon for Kafka because it's Kafka, but you definitely, it's something where it's like, if she's, I don't remember how they do it in Genshin Impact, how they do when they bring characters back. Do they bring multiple 5 stars back at once or is it just one? But if she's like featured alongside another 5 star, it's definitely like, oh yeah, you get her. It's not that bad. But I don't know. I don't know if it's someone you should be. I don't know if either of these characters are ones you should pursue unless you just really like the character. I would say honestly, even just seeing their kits right now, I would say you should save for both Imbibitor Lune, Dan Heng, and Fu Xuan, whatever her name is, the Quantum and Imaginary characters. If you have the other Quantum and Imaginary characters, because those teams are just going to be insane once they're done. But I cannot at this moment recommend summoning on them. I would say save your Jade. I would say even if you don't want to save your Jade for those characters later, I would say just summon on Locha right now. They're definitely going to be good, but I don't know how they're not going to be. They're going to be good for 5 stars, but I don't know if they're going to be great for 5 stars. You know what I'm saying? That's just my initial thoughts, right? But let's keep going here.
Likes elegant things, and there's a certain elegance to combat.
Kafka's abilities are kind of terrifying. Her enemies are like flies trapped in a web, slowly taking damage until.
Boom.
Ooh, hey, that was pretty good.
Yeah, from HP sacrificing maniacs and emotionless sociopaths to the coolest kid on the block. It's time to introduce our next character.
What? Hey, that is a little harsh. Also, since when did Welt become the coolest kid on the block?
Think again. I'm talking about the born and bred Bellabog hero, Luca!
Oh, come on.
So that's
They teased this character forever, and I totally forgot about their existence. I was like, who are they talking about?
the guy on the light.
But they're talking about this guy who was teased a while ago. I just totally forgot about his existence. I was like, who are they talking about? I knew they were going to go over to over the featured 4-star that would be coming out in 1.2. But it's just totally forgot about. Yeah, they're that's interesting. Physical nihility, whatever. Interesting. We'll go over his kit in a second. I literally they showed him, and I was just like, huh? And then also I remember that's just funny. Also, just want to say all the voice actors here that are doing the stuff for this, they're doing a good job actually. You might think, at first I was like, ooh, this might end up being a little cringy, but they're doing a good job. They are doing a very good job. It's pretty cute. All right, let's keep going.
Light cone.
He looks a little different on the light cone.
Luca is an underworld fighter that goes by the moniker Luca Strongarm. He's a member of Wildfire and apprentice to Oleg.
Wait, doesn't the underworld have a fight club? I guess that must be where Luca spends his time.
Oh, you better believe it. In fact, he's the Fight Club champion, and not only that, he's also a reliable operations consultant for the moles.
So he's with the moles, huh? Does Luca know he's a member?
Probably. The kids of the underworld look up to Luca in a big way. And the reason he fights is to set a good example of dedication and discipline. And speaking of fighting, let's take a look at him in action.
Luca is a physical type character following the path of nihility. After multiple attacks, he's able to launch an enhanced basic attack. His skill deals physical damage to a single target and has a chance of inflicting bleed.
And during battle, Luca can obtain fighting will through a variety of attacks, When fighting will reaches a certain number of stacks, Luca's basic attack is enhanced.
His enhanced basic attack deals 4 hits of damage, with the final hit dealing additional damage to enemies currently inflicted with bleed.
Kids today, no respect.
When Luca unleashes his ultimate, in addition to dealing damage, he also obtains Fighting Will, and there's a chance of increasing the target's damage received for a set number of turns.
Woo! And when your opponent's fist is the same size as your head, it's time to throw in the towel.
Yeah, it's the power of those punches that scares me. I mean, I'm sure having a robotic arm is also a big help, but I think Luca's strength lies in his love of the sport. Oh, and I almost forgot. When using his technique during exploration, Luca obtains Fighting Will after entering battle.
Jeez! Does this guy ever take a break? Well, it was.
All right. Interesting kit. It seems okay. I mean, he's just a 4-star, right? So he shouldn't be anything that blows me away. Mono physical is going to be pretty interesting. That's for sure. I think I had to sneeze there. Sorry about that. Mono physical is going to be pretty interesting. That's for sure. With like Clara, him, Natasha, Sushang. That's not very good, but it's interesting, right? Because Clara can take hits, Natasha can heal, Sushang can add some damage, he can make it so that the enemies your allies do a little bit more damage. I'm not really feeling it. I'm not sure what his place is on a team. I feel like there's just better versions of him, and yeah, I don't see it. But I mean, he's just like a 4-star on the side. Maybe I need to look at his numbers, see how much he's actually doing, to be able to decide how useful his utility is, because it seems like it's just like there's just better versions of him, right? But, you know, he's a 4-star, so you just pick him up on, like, pretty much any banner, including, like, you're going to be summoning. You're not summoning for him. You're summoning for the other characters, right? So it's like an extra add-on as, like, he won't be the worst, but I can't see him being that great.
It's great to start off the program with a character deep dive. Next up, it looks like we've got 2 brand new 5-star light cones coming to the warp in version 1.2. Let's start with a Path of Destruction light cone, the unreachable side.
Oh, okay. Question. The Paradise Blade mentions in his ultimate line, is that where he's standing right there?
I don't know what paradise means to you, Corey, but a barren sword-filled wasteland isn't my idea of a vacation.
Speak for yourself. Here's a fun fact. Each of those swords had an owner, and Blade was the last one to see them alive.
Oh, whoa! So he killed them for their swords. Only a brutal, calculated, jealous mind could do something like that.
Stop! The maniac and sociopath segment is over. Moving swiftly onto a 5-star Path of Nihility light cone. Patience is all you need. Here we see our resident sociopath again.
Okay. Well, looks like Kafka's waiting for the main course to arrive there, huh?
What do you think's on the menu?
You want to guess?
What are you looking at me for? Come on, nobody eats out, right? During the first phase of version 1.2 in the character warp, a lost soul, Trailblazer.
So do they not go over the light cone details in these? That's a little disappointing. I'd be interested. I mean, I assume for both of them, they're probably going to be getting damage. They're definitely getting attacked, that's for sure.
Users can obtain the limited 5-star character Blade during the same.
Let's talk about his banner quick. What are we looking at here? Arlen, Sushang, Natasha. Not a fantastic banner. I would say if you're not a big Blade character fan, I would say you shouldn't summon on that one. I'm just going to say it already. We'll see if my opinion changes when we get his actual numbers and details when I do breakdown, but I'm going to say it's not looking good for him.
Same phase. In the light cone event warp, the drop rate of the 5-star light cone, the unreachable side, will be boosted. And during the second phase of version 1.2 in the character warp, Nessun Dorma, Trailblazer.
All right, yeah. Look at hers quick. Right, you got the featured 4-star unit, which we just saw. Sampo, who is definitely a character, and Servo, who's definitely not a great character. We'll have to see how the featured one is, but yet again, I feel like there's just no reason to summon on these characters. Unless they're broken beyond belief, which it doesn't look like they're going to be. I'd say saving for 1.3 is what you should be doing to get those imaginary quantum characters, because Mono Quantum is most definitely going to be the best team in the game, by far, by an immense amount. But we'll see more when the actual banners come out. We'll see more when we get the character details. But my first thoughts are, please, if you're free to play character, please summon. Don't summon. Don't summon.
Users can obtain the limited 5-star character Kafka and 4-star character Luca. And during the same phase, in the Light Cone event warp, the drop rate of the 5-star Light Cone patience is all you need will be boosted. And that's a wrap on banners. Whew, I need to lie down. Don't go anywhere, Trailblazers.
All right, we're going to skip this. Go ahead. Make sure you use the codes there in the description of this video and in mine. Boop. There you go.
Welcome back, everyone! As mentioned at the start of the show in version 1.2, before the Trailblazers' decisive boss battle, they will need to pass through various delves. No surprise then? That 1.2 would unlock 2 new areas, the Alchemy Commission and Scale Gorge Waterscape.
Now, the Alchemy Commission, is that where the Xianzhou makes its medicines, or...?
Ooh, you got it! The Alchemy Commission is one of the 6 commissions of the La Fu. And, for no prize whatsoever, can anyone name all 6?
Oh, yeah, let's see. The Alchemy Commission, the Divination Commission.
The Skyfaring Commission, the Artisanship Commission, the Cloud Knights. Oh, shoot, what was that other one?
Drum roll, please. The Realm Keeping Commission.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
The
I did not know those.
Alchemy Commission used to focus their efforts on the way of immortality, but these days, it's all about medical research and treating diseases.
Now, the Trailblazer came face to face with some Alchemy Commission folks in Exalting Sanctum, but things seemed a little off.
I don't want to create more work for the editors, but I have a theory that the reason why that...
Adjacent to the Alchemy Commission lies Scale Gorge Waterscape, the realm of the videographer.
He's just ignoring us now.
We've got a lot to get through. Where was I? Oh, along with the Alchemy Commission and Scale Gorge Waterscape, come new puzzles.
Seems like Trailblazers will face a lot of new challenges on the road to the Ambrosial Arbor. I can't wait.
Oh, Owlbird, are you...
This, I just want to say it before I forget to say it. This area looks really cool. It does look really, really, really cool. I gotta say, I'm very impressed with this area. This is probably, yeah, the nicest, the coolest looking area I've seen in this game so far. This straight up looks like straight out of like a dungeon from like The Legend of Zelda. I could see this being like something you'd be exploring in the new game. That it looks quite cool. I gotta say, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with this new area. That's for sure.
You making Corey read off the teleprompter?
Puzzles aren't the only new challenges Trailblazers will be facing in these areas. There are monsters afoot. First up, a creature of indomitable size and destructive
Monkey.
power, the Malefic Ape. And next on the list, an entity rid of the burden of humanity that has remodeled itself in the way of immortality, the Ascended. And finally,
Yen Ching? Why would the General's aides attack a Cloud Knight, Lieutenant?
all will be revealed in the version 1.2 story.
I think we skipped an enemy, Albert. You mentioned a boss lurking on the Xianzhou Law Fu. Care for a sneak peek?
Oh, how could I forget? Hold on your hats, folks.
Well, she definitely looks like final boss material for this like area. Could be we fight her now, finish her off later. But that looks pretty final bossy. That makes me wonder what the actual final boss is gonna look like if it's not her. That's pretty crazy. All right.
Folks, it's Vantilia the Undying, wielder of the power of both the destruction and the abundance. In her first phase, she summons a...
Part of the abundance in this ending sounds like it's pretty final boss, right? Because we were going off, like, obviously in the first part, Bellbog there, the preservation, where we then unlocked that part of the ability for the Trailblazer. I figure the next one would be abundance and would be a healer of some sorts. Is that happening this time? I just feel like it's not, right? With the characters coming out in 1.3 that we know, I feel like it can't end here. I feel like it doesn't. There's no way, right? No way.
Abundance lotuses, which restore her HP and reduce the player team's skill points.
Weakening her enemies and strengthening herself in one fell swoop? Yikes.
That's why choosing the right moment to destroy those abundance lotuses is so important. Eliminating an abundance lotus recovers 3 skill points.
Well, when you borrow something, you gotta give it back.
Now, in her second phase, Fantilia uses her destruction power to summon destruction lotuses. These lotuses reduce ally max HP and when in bloom, deal damage to a single target.
So, should we just wait for them to stop blooming before we take them out?
No, I doubt the power of the destruction is as simple as that.
Oh, you're not wrong, Cheryl. When the lotuses aren't in bloom, their toughness doesn't receive damage. As such, Trailblazers should seize the moment when the flowers are open to break their weakness. And finally, in the third phase, Fantilia goes golden. What terrible trick does she have up her sleeve? I'm afraid Trailblazers are gonna have to wait to find out.
I'm curious.
Well, it looks like she just has both kind of flowers, right? She's gonna have flowers that heal and the destruction flowers. It seems like she'll just have both.
Where did Fantilia even come from? How come she can use the powers of the abundance and the destruction?
I hate to be that guy again, but all will be revealed in the version 1.2 story.
Is anyone here getting deja vu?
Hey, I can't go spelling all the beans. When the main story combat draws to a close, Fantilia the Undying will join the Echo of War and drop the advanced trace materials required for...
Well, never mind. I guess she is the final one. Okay. But I imagine, are we really ending our CN show adventure right here with the next characters that are coming out? Or we're gonna have like 1.3 gonna be a little bit of a hey, we're leaving type thing, like a wrapping it up so we can get through these characters, or we have some more a different kind of conflict than this big boss, maybe more government conflict over there. That's interesting. I mean, I guess we still have to deal with like the Stellaron stuff, right? If that's not dealt with here, but it's just with the character release, I wouldn't think this would be the end, but apparently is. We can also see her weakness there: lightning, wind, and imaginary, because of course it is. Make sure you got lightning characters, and what do you know? They want you to pull for Kafka and Blade. Who would have guessed? All right. Interesting. Not what I thought was gonna be happening, but interesting.
A Blade, Kafka, and Luca. Regret of Infinite Okama.
And a quick reminder, Trailblazers, Echo of War has a limited number of weekly rewards, so don't forget to plan ahead.
Also, in version 1.2, Stagnant Shadow, Shape of Celestial, is arriving, which drops the brand new character Ascension material, Ascendant Debris. This is also the Ascension material required for Blade.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it's time to talk about version 1.2 events.
Ooh, I've been waiting for this segment. Let's start with Tales of the Fantastic. The crisis on the Xianzhou Laofu has subsided, and the feats of the Nameless can be heard on every street corner. Starskiff Haven storyteller, Mr. Cien, is interested in the astral...
Okay, well, obviously it is ending here. Okay, considering the crisis has subsided, so now I'm extra confused on the release date for the 1.3 characters, but okay. Maybe we just won't be getting any new story in 1.3. Do they do that? Maybe that's what's happening. Because it would be weird to go to a new area and then have the new characters they want us to purchase, not the new characters that are featured in like the new area. So I imagine we probably might taking a pause on the story in 1.3. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure how they do it in like Genshin Impact, which I assume they're doing story release very similar. But yeah, not what I was expecting, but interesting.
will express his tale, eager to work his storytelling magic.
Oh, yeah, the storyteller. I'm familiar with him. I wonder what he'll do with the Trailblazers story. His artistic license and collage editing bring all kinds of tales to life.
Well, that's Mr. Cien, all right. To spruce up the tale, he's given us a set of protagonist models.
Protagonist models? What's that?
I hear it's kind of a magical object invented by one of the scriptwriters at the Immersion Club. It industrializes the scriptwriting process. As long as you follow its guidance, you'll be able to captivate an audience with your storytelling. To unleash the full potential of the protagonist models, the Trailblazer must accompany Mr. Cien into the past and visit historical battle locations. Now, the name might be a little dull, but don't underestimate the protagonist models. Different combinations have different effects. Once the protagonist models have been properly refined, Legend of the Trailblazer can be a runaway hit.
Oh, this sounds like a fun event.
Well,
That's really interesting. I'm wondering. That's really interesting, actually. That one should be super fun to do. I'm excited for making some videos on that because that sounds like it's gonna be really, really fun.
there's more where that came from. The next event is called Underground Treasure Hunt. The underworld appraiser, Bellaway the Miner's Lamp, is making a comeback.
They say that in Belobog's great mine, ancient ruins have been discovered where many rare treasures and relics are waiting to be identified. However, according to the senior treasure hunter Axe, there exists a space beneath the ruins where relics of even greater value may be found. The only thing is, the road to the ruin depths is filled with all kinds of danger.
Treasure hunters must steel themselves and explore sealed areas in order to progress deeper into the ruins.
I'm sure these sealed areas are full of hidden treasures, but there's always a catch.
Surprise and danger rolled into one. I'm sure Kafka would get a kick out of this.
I'm just gonna say they're doing a really good job of making all these modes seem very, very different and really enjoyable. I didn't get a chance to make any videos on it because it was already finishing, but the museum stuff, like it was already finishing when I started making videos on Honkai Star Rail, but the museum stuff I thought was super fun and super different. It was basically the mini game from Yakuza Like a Dragon, if you guys have played that, Ichiban Confessions, which is a really good game. You should play it if you haven't. But I found that these extra little event modes that they have here have been super duper fun. The Stellar Flare one that we just had, I think, has been the least interesting one that I've played so far, and even these ones described probably the least interesting one. But I even had a ton of fun like that because it was basically solving puzzles using these different characters. I'm excited for this stuff. They do a really good job on these extra events. It makes me wonder what they must do in Genshin Impact, because now I'm more curious as far as that game, how their events go, because these have been like hit out of the park. Interesting what they've been doing here. I'm very excited for this stuff. You know, having these extra mini games here, they're actually well developed and really cool looking is really cool. Very, very cool.
Treasure hunters will need endurance, courage, and insight if they want to succeed. It's almost certain that the sealed areas will contain enemies, but supplementary items and keycards to other sealed areas are the secrets to progression.
This is a solo mission, right? It sounds like a tough challenge to take on alone.
Oh, they won't be alone. During exploration, treasure hunters can be sure to run into familiar.
All right, this is very awesome. Actually, this is even cooler than I thought it was. Being able to get all these different characters, so you don't have to like build your team yourself like that. You know, that's super cool. I'm very interested in what they're doing here. This is that's very, 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 very fun.
Your faces.
Let's hope that we're happy to see them.
So do treasure hunters get any kind of special rewards?
Of course! In the Underground Treasure Hunt event, aside from the usual Stellar Jade, treasure hunters can obtain the themed Where's the Rabbit chat box.
Isn't the rabbit in the chat box?
It's a treasure chest. What I'm trying to say is, the theme of the chat box is called Where's the Rabbit?
Okay. So the rabbit's in the treasure chest, right?
In version 1.2, the message and chat box functions will be enabled for the first time. Trailblazers can obtain and swap between chat boxes. And I'm not just talking about the friend chat screen. I'm talking about the game's character interaction chat boxes too.
Oh, I love the rabbit design. It seems like something Clara would like too.
So cute.
Yeah, so cute.
Do you think Svarog could have designed it for
Oh.
her? Maybe?
Interesting thought. Safe to say that chat boxes will continue to get updates. Trailblazers will be able to view and swap between those they already have, as well as view those they've yet to obtain.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty cute, right? Extra stuff like that, a little extra visual stuff that makes it stand out a little bit more is always neat. I don't mind stuff like that. Same thing as like titles in other games, you know, you get them this little extra stuff. All they really do is just have a little flair for the game. That stuff's cool. Plus, you get plenty of other rewards. So even if you're like, oh, that's lame, you're still getting your Jade, you're still getting your relic stuff, you know, it's still good.
On to the next event. Where are you, Mystery Trotter?
This really is the version of missing creatures, isn't it?
The good news is, all of them can be found. Regan of Bellabog has come across a new scientific research gadget. Homemade sensor number 223. The device is able to detect mysterious coordinates that display abnormal readings.
I recognize that abnormal reading. Isn't that just a trotter?
Oh no, don't tell me that we have to fight it. I mean, sure, it's a little scary, but it's cute, right?
If I told you it dropped Stellar Jade, would that change how you feel, maybe?
Yeah, that thing's bacon.
Yeah, sorry.
You know what's tastier than bacon?
What?
Forgotten Hall updates! In version 1.2, the brand new memories of Cienjo, the Voyage of Novice's Trigger, will be arriving.
Yeah, now we're talking.
That's not all. After clearing the Forgotten Hall Memories of Cienjo Stage 1, Trailblazers can obtain the 4-star character Yukong.
Cool.
Did they have that in the last? I can't remember now. I blew past it so fast. I don't remember if they gave you a free character. Did they? I can't remember. But that's interesting for her, especially too. Mine's. I think I got 3 extra dupes of her. Yeah, I guess I don't mind. She's not that great. It's not, it's not like she's a fantastic character that you need to get, right? I mean, I said that you should be summoning at least on Locha just to get her, just so you have an imaginary character, right? Because you just want one, and she's easy to obtain. It seems that she's even easier to obtain, so... although most people should have them, and I recommend myself that you should at least just summon for her, even if you're not summoning for Locha, right? But... hey, if you were still thinking about summoning and you wanted Yukong, now you don't have to. You could get her for free.
In addition to the Forgotten Hall, the simulated universe will also be receiving an update in the form of World 7. And the brand new...
All right, let's look at these quick. I don't know if they're going to read them, but this is also interesting. More content for Blue Jink here to make. Rutilant Arena and Broken Keel increases the wearer's crit rate when the wearer's crit rate is equal to or greater than a certain percentage of the wearer's basic attack and skill. That is so good. That is so good for most of these characters, for a lot of these damaged characters. That is very, very excellent. Wow, basic attack and skill damage increase? Bro, Yan Qing is about to get buffed up with this for sure. A lot of hunt characters are. A lot of hunt characters. A lot. That is so good. That's insane. That's really good. Sorry, that's really good. The other one, Broken Keel, increases the wearer's effect resistance when the wearer's effect is equal greater than a certain percentage. All allies' crit damage increases. Okay, that's insane. Yeah, okay, those ones are really, really good. Those ones are really, really excellent. We'll have to see what the exact numbers are, right? But, as long as it's not in insane numbers, those are excellent.
Planar ornaments, Rutilant Arena, and Broken Keel will be added to the World 7 immersion device.
Wow.
And the ride doesn't stop there either. In version 1.2's Planar Fisher event, Trailblazers that successfully challenge the simulated universe can obtain a set amount of double planar ornament rewards. Meanwhile, in the Alchemy Commission's cavern...
Yeah, it's good that they're bringing those back. I also want to read these too anyways. But good that they're bringing that back. Hopefully they're doing that every single... update, because that's a really good event there. You could get some good stuff, and I'll actually make sure to make videos on it this time so you guys can see what I get out of it as well. That's good. Longevous Disciple increases max HP. Okay, that's not bad for a 2-piece. 4-piece depends on how much, right? They're not giving specific numbers, probably because they still need to work on balancing. I'm sure they're not coming out right this second. 4-piece when the wearer is hit or their HP is consumed by an ally, including by themselves. Okay, this is interesting for Blade. This is something... Their crit rate increases for a certain number of turns. This effect is stackable. Okay, that's really good. This is something for Blade, right? It's for an ally next to Blade. Not next to, but in the team of Blade. Because when they're hit or their HP is consumed including by themselves. Their crit rate increases a certain number of turns. Okay, so this is for a supporting high HP character. This is where I'm wondering, if you do use a Lucha, give him this. This isn't great for him, right? But actually, you wouldn't want to throw this on Lucha. You need him to max out his attack. But you can throw it on like any tank that you have here. You throw this on freaking Jeopard, right? It's because he's creating all those shields, and he's able to do this for him as well. Increases his max HP. You want that. Although you really want to maximize defense on him, huh? I guess I'm not sure. You can throw this on anyone. It won't be optimized for them, but you can throw this on any extra character. This is obviously meant for Blade. This one, Messenger Traversing Hacker Space. Interesting. All these stuff look really dumb, actually. This looks like a rubber ducky outfit here. Okay, 2-piece increases speed. That's just decent in general. You could always throw that a secondary on a character. When the wearer uses their ultimate on any ally, including on themselves, speed for all allies increased for a certain number of turns. This effect cannot be stacked. Yeah, it's pretty good. You throw that on like Asta, get super speed. Throw that on like anyone, really. It's just as long as it's an ultimate that doesn't deal damage and does for someone else, it's pretty good. We'll see how useful that is, though. But yet again, not too many characters that this would actually be the most like maximize their own kit and their own things, right? Because you'd much rather probably give them something else other than like Asta, because you don't really need too many numbers for her. You just need her to have her buff up and get some speed, right? Okay, this is interesting.
Rid of corrosion, Trailblazers can obtain the brand new Cavern Relics, Longibus Disciple, and Messenger Traversing Hacker Space.
Nice.
And finally, in 1.2's Realm of the Strange event, players that successfully challenge the Cavern of Corrosion can obtain a set amount of...
That's really good. Did they have this? I don't. Did I miss this? Like this last update, or even like one before? Because during the period when I was playing, because if this is something that's new, this is insane as well. Another thing, right? To when you have things like this, I'm gonna be doing info when the new Calyx double Calyx thing drops as well. But when it comes to stuff like this, where you're getting double rewards, put all the other what you need to use a Trailblaze power for, put it to the side. Only focus on these. This is literally using your Trailblaze power on other things other than like your weekly Echoes of War or like some the simulated universe runs you have to do. Using Trailblaze power on anything other than those is a waste. You are literally wasting your Trailblaze power not doing this double rewards stuff. Like all your Trailblaze power should be going into doing relic stuff. Even if you're not even at the point where you could get insane relics, you're at least getting experience material for other relics, right? So make sure you spend. I'll be talking about this again when the event actually comes out, and same with the other one with the planar stuff, right? All of your Trailblaze power needs to be going to this. Otherwise, you are actually unironically wasting it.
Double Cavern Relic rewards.
And I think we're gonna pass out for a while. Over to you guys.
No problem, we got you, buddy, we got you. In version 1.2, the 2 companion missions, Letter from a Strange Woman and For I Have Touched the Sky, will be arriving.
In a letter from a strange woman, the Trailblazer will receive a request from Kafka. As for how the Trailblazer should respond, I only have one thing to say. When you have a chance to make a choice, make one that you know you won't regret.
All will be revealed in version 1.2 story.
Isn't he supposed to be passed out?
I think someone's playing sound bites. I should say a little something about the other companion mission. In For I Have Touched the Sky, an accident has occurred in Stargazer Navalia. When the Trailblazer investigates, they find a girl in trouble. Who could she be? And what secrets could Yukong be hiding?
Thanks for watching Keeping Up with Star Rail.
Hey.
So are we only getting 2 next update? Because I know this one. I guess I don't know the exact number of how many we had in 1.0. Because I'd have to look it up, right? Because I didn't really play that one. Well, it was the only one for a while. But for 1.1, we had 4 total, right? We had 1. We had 1, and then we just got 3. So I'm wondering, is this it, or did they reveal all 4 of them in the last, like, Keeping Up with the Star Rail stuff? Like I said, new to this. I can only talk about previous experience I've had, which is nothing. But Interesting if we only get two. Hopefully they actually split them out so we have one in the first part and another in the second part. Hopefully not all of the second part or all of the first part, but probably. I mean, I assume we'd have the Kafka one during the Kafka stuff, right? Well, we'll see what happens. Interesting though. Interesting, and fun.
Sound guy, a little early on that one.
Before we bring things back to a close here, let's talk about the ever popular reward events. Version 1.2 will see the return of the Gift of Odyssey.
They are very awesome for doing this. I just want to say, I remember, like I said, haven't played Genshin Impact, but I do remember when there was all the voting stuff for like best mobile game, right? And Genshin Impact won, and they didn't even get a full multi worth of stuff to be able to summon with. I remember that going on, and it was like this big thing. So them being able, like every update, just giving you like a free pull is quite nice. Could they do more? Yeah, of course they could do more. Obviously they could do more. It's not like one pull really is a whole lot. But you save this up. Like I said, you shouldn't be, if you are a free-to-play player who wants to have a really good account, the best account they have, you don't pull on every character, you pull on the characters that are fantastic. The only character I think you should have pulled, if you're a free-to-play character, you should have pulled on right now, the only one that I think is truly worth it, without any hindsight, right, is Zila. With hindsight, Zila and Silverwolf are the two characters you should have pulled on exclusively, and then now you should pull on Fu Xuan when she comes out, right? If you're in that same, if you have Zila and Silverwolf, please don't pull on these guys. Don't pull on Locha. Wait, you will have a top tier insane team. But if you're like a casual player who's just having fun, you don't care about having a super account, then a full multi for you to use is obviously nice. It's obviously great. I don't want to dictate how you should play, but if you're trying to play in a certain way, like you're a free-to-play player who wants to, take the game more seriously, right? Then I'm just giving advice on that. Obviously, if you really like Kafka, then summon for her, obviously, you should enjoy the game to the best of your ability that you can, right? I mean, I'm loving the game, right? And I play a different way than I even recommend for you guys to play, so. Recommend a free-to-play player wants to take it seriously to play.
Check-in event. During the event, as long as Trailblazers log in for 7 days, doesn't have to be consecutive, they can acquire 10 Star Rail special passes.
Yes, I love a check-in event. Yes, let's do it.
That's exciting.
Can somebody get Corey some water, please?
All right, we got another one of these here. This is probably the last, pretty much close to the end here. Yeah, the check-in events they have are really nice. It's super obnoxious that they make you check in online on a separate website to get some other things as well. I don't know why they do that. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It's so obnoxious. Ooh, this one's a good one. Make sure you should be doing these anyways, but that one's extra nice. I moved off of my thing. Oops. But anyways, yeah, make sure you're also logging in on the separate website. If you don't know what that is, comment. I'll put it in the description. But all right, let's continue.
Time flies when you're having fun. Another special program has come to an end. We talked about a lot of 1.2 features. You guys, got any favorites?
Gotta be that boss fight for me. When the crew fought the Doomsday Beast and Cocolia, Welt was watching from the sidelines. This will be the first time we see him on the battlefield.
Ooh.
So watch your back, Fantilia.
I'm excited to see more of Blade. Heck, I recorded enough fighting efforts to lay down an album. We better get some fight scenes, come on. Not to mention, it seems like him and Danhung are finally about to meet. Something tells me they're not gonna settle things over a cup of tea.
Uh-oh. As for me, it is all about Kafka. Although I am curious about the Tales of the Fantastic event, because this sounds like Trailblazers have plenty of room to get creative.
Seems like we're all a little biased here. but
Totally.
one thing is for sure, 1.2 is a version to look forward to. Albert here has done a good job keeping us in check today, and there's still a lot of mystery out there for you Trailblazers to delve into.
You guys were a handful, all right. But hey, we made it out alive. That's it for Honkai Star Rail version 1.2 special program, folks. Thanks again to all you Trailblazers for tuning in, and see you for the next one.
Bye,
So long.
guys.
Bye-bye. Cheerio.
Seems like there's something else. I have to check, right?
The Interstellar Peace Corporation has just declared the latest galactic bounty hunt, calling for the capture of the Stellaron hunters. According to reliable sources, Kafka and Blade are expected to appear at the upcoming Cosmic Refreshment Supplies event, which poses a high risk of destruction. We urge the public to remain vigilant. We will announce the whereabouts of the outlaws in due time and are asking for your assistance in bringing them to
What is
justice.
this? Okay. Anyways, I'm not sure what that was about. I think I saw that on Twitter actually. I didn't look into it because I figured it'd be part of this. I didn't even think about it until it showed up here. It popped back in my mind. Just to wrap up my thoughts on that, really interesting, really fun. I'm very much excited. I wish I saw this live. I wish I live streamed it. I should have just got it out of bed. But super fun, super cool. I'm very excited for 1.2. You should be too. I'll be doing more. Hopefully, we didn't really get full character breakdowns, but I know that's something that might be like in the data or something. We might be able to actually look at their stats and stuff like that. In which case, a breakdown will be coming very soon. Yeah, so subscribe. I'll see you all next time. Like the video. Let me know down below what you think about 1.2. What you think about everything with this game. I enjoy talking to people in the comments very much. I need more. I need more people to talk to. All right, I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.